Muslim too, you know.
Yeah?
You see, when they went into Iraq and Afghanistan, they destroyed a lot of the art. Because they had, from long time statues. There's a coming out statue, this statue, that. So that is the commandment that they hold on to. So the choice is yours.
Of course, it always is.
When I was young, I used to go Catholic with my neighbor. There were a lot of statues in there, you know, some beautiful ones, eh?
Mm-hmm.
And over time, they reduced the number because you had the evangelical churches coming into the islands who began to proclaim, just like Calvin, that is idolatry. You don't find any of those things in Protestant churches. So to keep the people, you know, they took out some. When last have you been in a Catholic church?
I probably went in a Catholic church 3 times in my life.
Oh, yeah, they're pretty with all of these statues and stuff and so.
Well, I mean, you know, as I always say, whatever keeps your conviction, you know, just, you know, do what you have to do, you know.
All right, then.
All right, Miss Henry.
Before get run.
Okay, that's fine.
Cross. So I want Dr. Warner to examine and comment on Andrew Holner's situation with the integrity in public life.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope the AG is listening because we want to know. Because a lot of these members, now some of them are legitimate business, eh? They had them before they went in. What is the connection between them and government business?
Well said. Okay.
Right,
okay, Miss Henry, we have Dr. Gill coming up. He's here, Cameron. So
but he went to come back.
Yeah. No, he went to the bathroom.
Yeah, he went to the bathroom. You have to let everybody know.
How'd you know that? How'd you know that?
No, but he got to come back. You say gone bathroom. Like you could even play it down.
He just went to check himself in the mirror.
No, just say the man went to come back. He's in the studio. Just say he's in the studio.
He went in the mirror to do the thing we men do. You know, look. You know, we go in the mirror. Look, let me do this. Look. You know, you pull our lapels like that, and yeah.
Okay, Jamsta.
You go, boy.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Let's take this call in the meantime. Caller, go right ahead. 840.
Yes. Good morning.
Hey, what's up?
Good morning.
Yeah. Imagine I message you and your phone, your phone explodes. You lose your eyes.
Yes, I want to talk about that too. Yeah.
No,
I mean,
we message
nasty work. The Israelis.
There's more outrage about this, you know, because this has to be. Well, first of all, it has implications for more than just Lebanon. Right?
Absolutely.
It has to be in violation of a lot of international norms, including interfering with the abuse of communication stuff, public communications. Because the thing is, it almost amounts to terrorism, you know.
Well, it does amount to terrorism. Anybody else did that? Anybody else did that, or everybody would be up in arms. So, in case the listeners wonder what we're talking about, the Israelis pulled off this crazy.
They have admitted it.
Wait, it could only be them.
They have admitted it.
So
it's so outrageous that they don't want to admit it.
Yeah. So apparently, for the listeners, the Hezbollah apparently bought a bunch of pagers because they stopped using phones because of the danger phones page can pose in terms of them being tracked and so on. So apparently, the pagers were sourced from Taiwan and through a European company, and somehow the Israelis managed to put a small payload of explosives in each pager. And that would be activated. There's a small time, and that would be activated by a call, which made it look as though the Hezbollah leader was calling whoever had the pager. And here we are. Pretty crazy, huh?
I mean, this is beyond crazy.
Thanks for reminding me. Listen. There's so many things I didn't want to talk about when I come here, but you know, there's so many. Last night when I was watching it, I was like, well, I definitely have to talk about this. Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, because I mean, like I said, the implications are
they are
horrendous.
Scary. Yeah,
it's really scary. I mean, it gives rise to. That's why you have so many conspiracy theories, and I mean, you've seen the movies of using technology to affect millions of people.
Yeah.
It's
terrible.
This is outrageous. I hope, well, the UNGA is coming up soon, the United Nations General Assembly.
Yeah.
I hope people mention that and condemn it.
Okay.
Right? Regardless of the source of this, condemn it. Because, millions of people, perhaps billions, use technology equipment, right? And if this can happen here, can you imagine it can happen on a larger scale elsewhere? Okay,
caller, we have to do our line. Right. We can continue this later on because this is that is definitely has way more import than people are making out. So we have our second edition of WINNMedia Law. Just put it on.
On the
okay. Yeah. Cameron, what's up?
Give me a second there.
Yeah, he's wrestling with the
headphones. Yeah.
Okay. It seemed like in that wrestling match, the headphones got the gold medal. You got the bronze. Okay.
I'll say silver.
Okay. So, thanks for coming up. I know today is could be. Probably relatively quiet for you, but it's nice that you could show up today for our second edition of WINNMedia Law. We had the first one on was it Friday? Yeah, with John Francis.
John, yeah. Quite informative.
And,
I know John, good partner. Yes. I know John. Yeah. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
thanks for being here. I know you have something to do, so we just go straight into it.
Okay. Well, good morning to Jamsta. Good morning to Jay Black.
Yes, sir.
Morning to the listening public. As usual, a pleasure to be here on Win FM. Okay, so I was asked to speak about I was approached a couple weeks ago by Win FM to speak about the trade union movement. That's what I was told to speak about. And I decided, but this was supposed slated for several weeks ago, but...
The trade union movement is what you were told?
That's what I was told. But I have,
you have other episodes, you can talk about other things.
Yes, but what I've done, because of independence, I've decided to speak about the trade union movement and the road to independence. So that's what I'm looking at. Because when I was approached, remember this program was supposed to have been a couple of weeks ago, but you all had to reschedule because of other commitments. Yeah. So I've decided, because the timing, to make this about the trade union movement and the road to independence. Because it did play a pivotal role, which I don't think some people are aware of, but not everybody's aware of that. So that's what I want to go into.
Right.
Okay. Now, the trade union movement in St. Kitts played a significant role in shaping our nation's political landscape and our eventual journey toward the independence. A key event that catalyzed this movement was the Buckley strike of 28th January 1935, which is considered a pivotal moment in the island's labor history. So we're going to go in first look at the origins of the trade union movement. The early 20th century, the early 1900s, was marked by widespread worker dissatisfaction across the Caribbean,
right,
including St. Kitts.
Right.
Workers faced low wages, high unemployment, and racial discrimination from colonial administrators and their employers. Additionally, the absence of any formal structures for resolving labor disputes through collective bargaining further exacerbated these tensions. In St. Kitts, the estate workers, particularly those in the sugar industry, which was the dominant pillar of our economy, were overworked and underpaid. Frustration built over time due to the disparity in wages and the lack of bonuses, as seen in the differing Christmas bonuses paid by estates in December of 1934. Now, a couple of comments on this, okay? Now, today, whether you work, say, you teach at the college like I do, or whether you work at Win FM, wherever you work, whether private or public sector,
right?
It is part of our labor laws, as it is in practically every civilized country today, that you have an employment contract. Whether you get paid weekly, fortnightly, monthly, your contract would state what your hours are of work, what your pay is, etc. If you have to work overtime, all that will be stated. It may seem hard for us to imagine, but this was not the case then.
Wow.
I'm still
on? Of
okay,
course.
Okay,
yeah.
How the sound? To make sure I'm still on. This was not the case then. So your wages were arbitrarily decided by your employer. Okay, so this may sound to our listeners, especially the younger listeners, crazy, but you could go to work this week and get paid X amount. Next week, go to work doing the same job and get paid Y amount. And the excuse might be, less cane was harvested this week or more was harvested, etc. And that may not be because you worked, that you did not work as hard. It might be conditions beyond your control, etc., weather, etc.
Right.
So you were paid basically on the whim of the owners, of the employers. Other factors too, you could be dismissed summarily, just like that.
With no reason.
With no reason.
Wow.
And this affected many women, but women especially were vulnerable to this. If you became pregnant, you'd be dismissed. Just like that.
Just like that.
And all this was building up over time. You have to bear in mind that the 1930s was a century after emancipation. Exactly.
Right.
So emancipation was in 1834. So this is exactly a century after.
Right.
Working conditions and living while you were getting paid a wage now, because the employers grudgingly had to pay a wage because slavery had been ended.
Right.
So grudgingly, but they paid very low wages. And because of the still ingrained attitude of being entitled to free or cheap labor,
right,
there was a lot of abuse. That was meted
I could imagine.
That exactly.
Spiteful.
Very spiteful. And then the living conditions. I mean, if you go on sites like historic liar Megan Owali through pictures.
Yeah.
A Facebook page.
Oh, thanks for telling us about those.
Yes, and
give us again before you leave at the end.
Yeah.
And so people can.
You remember the late Liz Pereira?
The Queen?
No, she was a
Liz Pereira.
I think she was is Liz her full name?
I don't know her full name, but she passed away a few years ago.
She's from St. Kitts, right?
Yeah, she's from St.
related
Kitts.
to the OTI people.
Might be.
Reggae Beach.
Might be.
I feel like I've heard that name before.
But
I've heard the name too.
I think she's one behind this Facebook page, and the site is still up. I think other people are behind it now. It's still operational. All lying big on while it's through pictures. And there's some great historic photos of St. Kitts, black and white photos. Similar to the images that you'd see, like, say, in rituals in the Rams Up camps, etc. And when you see some of these images showing, like, there's one particular one that shows estate workers standing outside their home. They were living in the same trash houses that they lived in during slavery. Okay? A wood house with a straw.
Shanty.
Yeah. So, you know how cold it is on December night. You know? It's an earth floor. So centipede is going to be harassing you morning, noon, and night. So those are the living conditions, and then of course the working conditions with the poor wages, the arbitrary payment, the arbitrary dismissals, etc. This is the situation up to the 1930s, and this is what led to the pressure cooker environment leading up to the Buckley strike, which I'm coming to now, and its impact. So the tipping point of all of this came in January 1935, when workers at Buckley's estate demanded an increase in their wages to £1 per ton of cane cut, a demand that was rejected by the estate manager. This refusal sparked a strike, which quickly grew as workers from other estates joined in. The strike soon escalated into a mass demonstration which spread across the island, leading to confrontations between the workers and the colonial authorities. The strike culminated in violence when several workers were shot and killed, and 8 others were injured by the colonial forces. And before going any further, as you all know, I've this year again tried unsuccessfully to have Marcus of the Woods, our Maroon hero, inscribed as a national hero. I'm going to continue with this along with Fidel, along with Fidel and Offlight and his siblings and others. I'm going to continue with this. So next year, God willing, I will put forward Marcus of the Woods and Better Douglas for national heroes, and I'm also going to lobby for a proper national monument for those who died in the Buckley Revolt. Just because we have one for World War I and World War II, that one is quite appropriate, but we should also have a national monument for those who died in the Buckley Revolt as well.
But I want to kind of differ with that one. Those people who died in the war, I mean, is it like okay, I'm not saying how many is it for that thing down there?
Well, for small, I think it's a Nevis. I mean, a handful of men is a significant amount. Because you have to remember, for every life lost, whether it's in a strike or a war, you have families affected, so it multiplies. So in a small society, I think it's where during World War II would have had a population of around 30,000 people. A half a dozen or more men dying in a world war is going to have a ripple effect throughout a small society.
It always bothers me that we always slavishly follow observances created by the colonizers.
They created it,
and yes.
But here's why I support it.
No, I'm not saying not to support it, but my point is, we slavishly follow that, but I
we don't observe other things.
We don't.
Yeah.
Well, what happened? Why don't? How come we don't have a little ceremony for the Christina? And
We do have a ceremony for Christina.
We had one this year
I don't remember, but I know we usually have like a remembrance ceremony
in Nevis.
in
Nevis.
was one federation will be entered.
Yeah, but no, we should have one on both sides of the channel.
because people
Died on both sides. Nevis has always had a remembrance for Christina. So I agree. And on the year in the past, we have spoken about this several times. Okay?
Right.
There's no memorial service. We belatedly got a monument for the Christina disaster in St. Kitts. Nevis has had one for years. We don't have a proper monument for the Buckley Revolt as yet. Okay? But even though we strayed off a bit to World War, let me just quickly talk about that. Those men who fought 2 wars, and they were not naive. The attitude was that if we assist Britain in this endeavor, because Britain could not win the war on her own, she did not have the kind of manpower resource that the USA had. She had to depend on her colonies: Canada, Australia, New Zealand, the West Indies, and Africa. And the thinking especially among a lot of the men who fought, especially the educated ones who would have served like in the Royal Air Force, etc., is that Britain will have to treat us as equals now after fighting in this conflict. And at the same time, during the war, they fought 2 wars, fighting against the Nazis like everybody else, and fighting racism from the same people who they're fighting for. So they should be remembered for the sacrifice and they made, and some of these same World War I and World War II veterans played a role in our independence movement. The Buckley strike and other revolts in the 1930s, which we're going to discuss more just now. Some of the men were World War I veterans who had been radicalized by the experience in fighting overseas and the racism they encountered. Many of them became adherents of the Black Power movement that Marcus Garvey had started. And then after the Second World War, some of these men would go on to lead the countries to independence, like Edward Barrow of Barbados. Others would become leaders in various sectors of the economies and politics in other territories.
I was told that Cuthbert Sebastian, Dr.
Cuthbert
Sebastian was a gunner in
Cuthbert Sebastian
the
was
Royal Air Force in one of those.
Yes, he was a gunner.
bombers.
Cuthbert Sebastian was a air gunner on a Royal Canadian Air Force Lancaster bomber in the Second World War.
Wow.
Yes, he was. Yes. So anyway, but continuing back, but that was a good.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know that.
That was a good little diversion there. Okay. So coming back now.
Man was a gunner, boy. Okay.
He was a gunner.
Okay.
We had men from St. Kitts and Nevis who served as navigators on RAF bomber aircraft. The navigator is the second highest ranking person on the aircraft next to the pilot.
Right.
And during the bombing mission, he assumes command of the aircraft. This is significant, okay? Because he had black and mixed race Kittitian and other West Indian men commanding white crews on bomber missions over Germany in the Second World War. That is significant.
Wow.
At the same time,
And that didn't happen in the U.S.
it did not. They were segregated. But Britain only did it because of the manpower shortage, so she had no choice. Not that they're more enlightened than their U.S. cousins, but she had no choice. But just, like I said, it's an important diversion. People need to know these things.
I don't even consider it a diversion, but okay.
Yes. Yeah, people need to know these things. Okay, so anyway, continuing. So, we were talking about the Buckley strike and those who were lost, and that there needs to be a proper memorial, a proper national monument for them. And what I want to pursue next year, God willing, along with getting Beto Douglas and Marcus of the Woods inscribed as national heroes, is to have some kind of national honors bestowed among those men who died as well. A monument and some kind of honor, some kind of posthumous honors bestowed upon them for their sacrifice.
Isn't that the War Memorial?
No, that's World War I or World War II. Talking about the Buckleys, Ben who died in the Buckley strike.
Buckleys, right. Okay.
Yeah, to have a proper a memorial for them one,
okay,
and for them to get at independence next, get some posthumous honors.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't it even appropriate for, some of those awards that were given out a few days ago to be awarded to them just for argument's sake?
Yeah, that's my argument.
Okay, because
that is my argument.
What is it? The argument is? Remind me.
Some of these awards that were like CVM,
like staff and everything like that.
Yes.
Yeah. Tell me.
The men who died in the box before should get some of those awards.
Yeah, it's amazing to me. I don't know why I never thought of this before.
I think there have been discussions.
I don't think anybody has listed it before.
But I just remember only politicians qualify. So, sorry.
I ain't even going now.
No, well, to be fair,
I'm gonna go there.
To be fair, other people say politicians have gotten, people who come to be education and health have gotten it, but I'm saying, and they deserve it, but I'm saying these men deserve it as well, because they lost their lives.
Absolutely.
They lost their lives. Okay? What we enjoy today, going to work and you know, a certain every month, your salary is going to be lodged at whatever bank your account is at.
And even double at the end of the year.
And we take
that's
that
because
for granted.
of them.
Yeah,
That we take it for granted.
and
that is because of them.
we need to be constantly reminded where we come from, for real.
We need to. We need to.
To get some perspective.
But this is, I think this ties into how the St. Nevis Labour Party was formed.
Yeah, we're coming to order that.
Right.
So I'm going to continue.
Right.
Okay. So the Buckley strike, this event marked the beginning of organized labor movements. What happened? Because the Buckley strike took place in 1935, January 1935. You had a series of other revolts throughout almost every island in the Caribbean. English, French, Dutch, and Spanish, okay? Now, they weren't planned or coordinated, but it just happened that things had reached a boiling point. So after Buckley, you had island-wide strike in Jamaica among both banana estate workers and dock workers. You had the oil workers strike in Trinidad. You had various strikes throughout practically almost every territory, as far as Belize. The British became concerned because with tensions increasing with them and Germany and a world war looming, they knew they would need the colonies both for resources for war, the minerals, etc., and other resources, as well as manpower. So they appointed a commission under Lord Moyne to investigate. Okay, the commission's report was not published after the Second World War ended because there was a fear that Germany would use it as propaganda to tell people in the Caribbean, well, this is how your colonial masters treating you, why you're going to fight for them. Okay, so they did not publicize the report until after. But what they did do, the British government did do, was implement some of the recommendations early. And one of these recommendations was the legalization of political parties. Okay, so the legalization of trade unions. So this full development of trade unions, and so this paved the way for the trade unions. Because what you found, right? In 1932, Thomas Manchester and some others had established the St. Workers League, which kind of operated like a union representing the workers. But because trade unions were not legal in the British West Indies under British law, they did not have the power to officially arbitrate on behalf of workers. So it lacked the Workers' League lacked legal teeth. But after the Moyne Commission's recommendations and the British government legalizing unions, so unions were formed. So the first union, the St. Nevis Trades and Labour Union, emerged out of the Workers' League. And then out of this emerged the St. Nevis Labour Party, which first contested elections in the 1937 elections with two candidates. The St. Nevis Labour Party is the oldest active political party in the English-speaking Caribbean. The party was closely linked to the trade union movement and became a voice for the working class, advocating for reforms in labor laws, education, and social welfare. The Labour Party's close ties with the trade union movement allowed it to build a strong base for support among the island's working class. The party and the union worked hand in hand with labor activism translated into political mobilization. This integration of labor and politics mirrors similar developments across the Caribbean, where labor movements laid the foundation for political systems. So in most other English-speaking Caribbean islands, you find at least one of the legacy political parties has roots in the labor movement from the 1930s, the Antigua Labour Party, the Democratic Labour Party in Barbados, etc., etc., etc.
So that wasn't the pattern in Europe and so on. I mean,
in Europe the parties are also
in the UK.
Labour Party has roots to the union. Yeah. But in our case, so here's the interesting thing. I'll give you the point. Unions in the UK were legal long before they were legal in the West Indies.
Well, yeah.
So what the Buckley strike achieved was that it forced the British to pass laws making unions legal in all of their colonies. So you had a consistency in legislation in terms of unions being legal in all of their colonies.
Okay, so that's pretty interesting.
Okay. Now, what you find will happen in St. Kitts, and you find happen in many other countries, is that you have a party being formed coming out of a labor union. But that what is often not discussed is the role that had in creating a multi-party system that we have today. Okay, because what would happen in any democracy, a party is formed. But you're going to have differences of opinion, okay? People may have genuine goals for wanting to advance their country and the betterment of the people, but different opinions of how to go about it, and different ideologies in terms of achieving that. So you find different parties being formed that may still want to see the advancement of the country, but may differ with the Labour Party in terms of how to do it. So you had the formation of the People's Action Movement, or PAM, which was founded in 1965. And again, this is mirrored in the rest of the Caribbean, the rest of the world, where you find a party is formed, but you have other parties being formed that may have differing ideas about what route we should take towards the future of the country. So it is important to bear in mind that while the Sinkers Nevis Trades and Labour movement directly led to the founding of the Sinkers Nevis Labour Party, it also contributed to, because with one party being formed, others are going to be formed in response. So the union contributed to the creation of the multi-party system that we have today. So now we're going to look at the road to independence. Now, through its influence on local politics, the Labour movement played a critical role in St. Kitts' journey toward independence.
Right.
The Labour Party, under leaders such as Robert Bradshaw, championed political reforms and eventually led to statehood in 1967. Dr. Kennedy Simmons, leader of the People's Action Movement, became Premier of St. Kitts Nevis in 1980 and was able to carry this momentum forward, ultimately leading the country to independence in 1983. So to conclude, because I did promise I will be brief because I have another commitment after this.
Yeah, okay.
So to conclude, the trade union movement in St. Kitts not only transformed labor relations, but also laid the groundwork for the creation of political institutions and the eventual achievement of national independence. The Buckley strike was a defining moment that underscored the power of collective action, and its legacy is still felt today in the island's political and social structures.
Yeah. In case you're just joining us, Dr. Cameron Gill, our second episode of Liam Eagle Lore. One thing that has to be said though is the sad truth that the labor union side of the Labour Party tends to become toothless and impotent when a Labour government is in office. It's just weird to me.
Well, going to wait till you make some comments, because I have some comments here that I want to make, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
One issue that we have in St. Kitts is that, and I'm not sure how many other countries are like this, is that the membership of the union today is predominantly people who are members of the Labour Party. So you find, for example, a worker who is not a member of the party or does not support the party may not feel inclined to join the union.
Right.
So there's this...
Does it seen through a political lens?
Yeah.
Partisan might be better.
And I think that today, and I'm not the first person who spoke about this, Mr. Dwight Astafan spoke about this a few months ago on the air, and ever since, even way back when I was a high school student, is an observation I've made. Because I was observed things, observation I made. So that, I would say, today, kind of undermine the contribution that it can make, because if an employee, and well, let me say something. No, generally, whether it's St. Kitts Nevis, the USA, wherever, history tends to be politicized. So you find people based on their political affiliation, whether Labour, PAM, Republican, Democrat, whatever, are going to interpret history to a particular lens. So I'll give an example. Over a century after the U.S. Civil War, interpretation of Civil War and slavery is still often influenced by whether you're Republican or Democrat and how you view the issue. Okay, what we are historians are supposed to do is look at all sides, and even if we have an opinion, we should come to that opinion after analyzing all sides and have a discussion, etc. So my argument would be that the labor union has benefited all of us, as we said earlier, in terms of creating the rights that we enjoy. But the question we need to ask, is it that effective today? If you have a case where an employee may have an issue with employer, if the employer is a member of a particular party, how forceful would the labor union be in trying to redress whatever wrong that employee is suffering? Okay, so that is something that we need to assess. Is the union presently and going into the future able to have the same teeth it had in the past? And that's one of the dangers in a union being closely aligned with. And I think in the UK, there's a little bit of that as well. So you find, for example,
Really?
Conservative Party members are not necessarily going to be members of the union.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
So it's not unique to St. Kitts. And I would say, as a historian, I would argue that interestingly, with political polarization becoming even greater in many Western countries, you see the trend of greater polarization in the USA, UK, even in Canada. And so you're seeing camps being divided even more strongly. And so actually the trend is actually increasing of certain parties becoming more entrenched in terms of union support, whereas people with a different political affiliation may move further away from the unions.
Yes,
So
because I mean, you remember the trucker revolt in Canada.
Yeah.
And those people were aligned with, and they weren't even aligned with the union. They were, I got the
predominantly
impression, aligned with the
Conservative
Party.
Yeah. And interestingly, during that trucker revolt, during the COVID-19 lockdown in Canada, many truckers from the USA who supported the Republican Party, or who are Trumpists, and who despise the Liberal Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, crossed the border. And there was an issue. You had truckers from the USA crossing the border to take part in this truckers' anti-COVID lockdown blockade in Canada. So you're seeing that polarization, pro-union and anti-union. You're seeing that greater polarization in many Western countries, USA, UK, Canada, France, etc.
Yeah. Okay, folks, it's 9:09. We have Farm Report coming up next. Troy Flanders is up next. Cameron, this was a great presentation. So what can we expect next week?
Oh, I'm supposed to be here next week?
Yeah, remember I told you.
I forgot. I've been so busy.
But that's what we're telling you now.
Okay.
So you can't even let them know.
So Fidel, I have to deal with Fidel then.
Okay. Here's what.
Yeah.
I could possibly do next week. Hold on, I'll be on the air still?
Yeah,
Okay,
because same time, 8:30 to 9.
I could possibly do next week.
Yeah.
But I may not be able to come in. Could it be done over the phone?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
The original idea was to and you did a lot of that this morning, little known St. Kitts Nevis facts, the historical facts and so on. And you actually did a lot this morning because there's a lot of stuff there that I didn't know.
Fidel did mention it, but I've been so busy with the other stuff that I forgot. Is there a particular topic you want to speak on next week?
Well, I mean, still, we usually do this during the independence season in National Heroes. So, yeah. How it actually started was I was having a conversation with the manager about, she was talking about Heldens, but she's from that area.
Yeah.
And she was talking about how there were all these Europeans who moved over from Statia and St. Bart's.
Yeah.
And they settled in the Heldens area.
Yeah. But
and eventually,
I'm actually doing a little bit of research on something related to that.
There you go. Yeah, so all of that stuff.
But what I will, since we're going to do next week, and we're looking at independence, and by coincidence, I'm going to do a presentation at K and High this morning as I leave here. Let me speak next week about Marcus of the Woods and Beto Douglas.
Yes, absolutely.
So I'll speak because just like those heroes of the Buckley strike in 1935, Marcus of the Woods and Beto Douglas contributed to our independence as well.
Absolutely.
But I've not spoken much about Beto on the ear.
Okay, good.
So I'll speak about both of them next week.
Okay, good. So we look forward to that.
No problem.
And if you have time, you can listen to John Francis on Friday. He's coming on Friday.
No problem.
He's going to be doing all the Fridays this month as well.
If you could either email me or WhatsApp me a reminder say by Friday, so I don't get tired up and forget.
No problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
Okay.
Jamsta and Jay Black,
Yeah.
appreciated it. Definitely appreciated it.
Too easy, King.
It was a pleasure.
And thanks to
But before
Troy
you go
for
off
giving
the
us
air,
extra time.
Gentlemen, have a safe, happy, hopefully restful independence. And to our listening public, my fellow Kittitians and divisions, happy independence. Have a safe and restful one.
You know what? There's a call.
Likewise,
Just say if you could take a call. Really,
I'll
really
take
quick.
one call.
Because there was
I'll take
one
one.
other call earlier. Call will go right ahead. Be quick. Okay, they're gone.
Well, bye.
So we have to kick you out. The caller fell.
Sorry I had to rush, but another commitment.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, look, we're actually on time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we look forward to seeing you next week.
No
Cameron.
problem.
This
Just give
was
me a
great.
reminder by weekend, okay?
Okay, great.
Okay, gentlemen, again, be safe and have an enjoyable one.
Nice.
Likewise, King.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna take a quick break and come back. We're gonna have Farm Report coming up.
From the South, 98.9 FM.
This is your boy Super Handy Andy.
And your girl, Sacha the Artist.
With your super handy Andy hurricane deals at Horsford's Billing Center.
For the month of September.
Heavy duty green polytap was $59.49.
Now for $44.62.
Duracell AA rechargeable batteries was $123.10.
Get it now for $92.33.
Power Zone work light was $96.96.
Now $72.72.
Display LED glow stick light was $7.56.
It's now $6.63.
1 gallon plastic roof cement was $105.56.
It's now $79.17.
1 1/4 gallon gas can was $84.53.
It's now $63.39.
Super handy Andy
With Sacha the Artist.
with your hurricane deals at Horses Billing Center
For the month of September. Making home improvement easy.
At Dental Beginnings, where it all begins with your smile, we provide quality dental care, catering to the needs of the whole family, where gentleness is our specialty and attention to detail is paramount. We offer cleanings, fillings, crown and bridge, root canals, extractions, digital x-rays, and sealants. Dental Beginnings, located at Victoria Road, Bastyr, St. Kitts. Call us at 869-668-1955 or 869-465-1951. Email us at dentalbeginnings@gmail.com or visit our Facebook page. Dental Beginnings. It all begins with a smile.
I ain't got no hurricane safety tips now. Well, Skellek got, and together we can weather the storm. So, check this. Prepare for power outages. Charge devices before a storm strikes. Develop a plan in the event that electricity goes. Learn where and how to shut off your home's electricity. Ensure that there are no trees in the lines near you. If you are experiencing low voltage, turn off the main switch in your home. Do not touch wet appliances. You feel only Nima can give safety tips? Well, Skellek can too. So be sure to stay tuned to Skellek's Facebook page and website for updates about the outages and restoration. For emergencies, our contact numbers are 465-2013, 661-2013, and 600. I repeat, 465-2013, 661-2013, and 600. Remember, with Skellek's hurricane safety tips, together we can weather the storm.
And it's time for Farm Report, and we gotta say thank you to Troy Flanders for giving us the extra time. For
I like this background track, Jamsta.
Oh yeah, it's Sean Paul's new joint. Yeah. Troy, what's up?
Hey man.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning to all our super listeners. Nice to be back in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, been a while, but I haven't neglected my fans out there, the fans of Farm Report.
Okay, so nice to have you today.
Yeah. Today, I just like to let the general public know that the consortium is still here. I get the call from people that we are a bit dormant. We are not, though we are not much in the public saying things. We are working out things in the background. We keep meeting the leadership of the consortium. We keep meeting sometimes twice a week and so on. So we are working out things.
So for context, for our new listeners, can you briefly explain what the consortium is?
Oh, okay. The consortium of farmers and food producers. I think the Nevis is a bunch of farmers come together and people who do agro-processing and so.
Right.
Yeah, that's what the consortium is.
Right.
Right? So you learn that to the people.
Well, that ain't for me. I know what it is. I'm just establishing it for the people that just logging in and they say, well, who's this guy,
No, man, the consortium is a household name now, thanks to WINNFM.
Well, we're glad we could help.
They enabled us to get to people's house, so thank you.
Too easy. Jamsta, you hear that?
Well, no, I was trying to set up one.
That's okay. That's okay. Well, yeah, he said because of WINNFM, they're large and in charge.
Okay.
Yeah, I was telling you, the consortium become a household name thanks to WINNFM.
And because of Farm Report, I bought some beef brisket on what was it, Saturday? Yeah, from the farmer, from Humble.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, and some.
We are here.
Yeah.
While we are not
This thing is life changing, I know.
Yes, it is. The consortium is here to stay because
as you should.
We fight on behalf of the farming community. It's a bunch of farmers, and we look out for each other. We look out for our interests.
Right.
Right. While we were not much in the public, we were able to. I think we allude to that some program ago. We were able to secure some avocado trees.
Okay.
As we had indicated that we were going into the orchard style of farming, so we were able to actually receive the trees now. It was something in the making, and it did take shorter time than I expected. Yeah, so within a couple of months, we were able to get 168 avocado trees. The cost of each tree is $110 per tree, right? And those trees, it cost the farmers, I think from the consortium, and it was like 12 farmers who received those trees and share amongst the 12, and it was the cost to them was just $36 per tree.
Oh wow!
Yeah, because we were giving a generous donation by an international organization, right? And I like to say thanks to Miss James and Mr. James and his boss. Forgive me for not remembering her name at this point in time, but the international organization is IUCN.
IUCN. All right.
And that's for in case of those International Union for the Conservation of Nature.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Gotcha.
Yes, so I like to say kudos to them. You could imagine if you do the calculation, you got 110 times 168. If you do your math, you see that's a couple $1,000 well, and it only costs us
$36 a tree.
$36.
That's amazing.
So the consortium was able to get that support from.
And are the avocados like the ones we grow here, we normally consume here?
It's five different varieties.
Oh, okay.
And they are very good quality avocados.
Very good quality avocados.
And the beauty about it is that there are some that will be at a later time in the year.
Right. So you're saying that you have almost like a year round.
Should be once you start planting.
Right.
They should expand the season for avocado.
Right. Yeah. And I think that could give birth to a different culture here too. Different avocado infused dishes. More consumption of the avocado.
You see, what we're trying to do is to get into food safety, and security.
Right.
So we own. We see avocado coming here. We want to get our own avocado.
Right.
And something that we could be proud of.
I wish we could be that way for a lot more crops in the island too.
Well, as you speak, also the consortium is in conversation with another international organization, and they are very interested in helping us with some breadfruit trees.
Right.
So, that's the road we're going down. We're trying to get food security.
And the challenge is after you have these things, you have to make it, as lucrative as possible in terms of a business.
Yes.
Because after that, we don't want anything to happen. Like maybe after a couple of years, we have a massive, manufacturing plant, and then it shuts down because,
Well, with time and proper planning and so, we're thinking about, as you were saying, creating a industry. You're thinking about creating jobs, job opportunity, and so because that's where we want to see agriculture heading.
Right.
To be a net job producer. Is a way for employment, right? You know, the agriculture sector offer a wide range of jobs.
Right. Because, well, you need to, well, I think when people hear agriculture, they think about farming and hot sun and hard work and what's not. I feel like, you know, there are people that belong in the field and there are some people that could support behind the scenes.
Yeah, I wouldn't say behind the scenes.
Well, not behind the scenes.
Everybody have their role to play.
Yes.
Because there are people who will have to do.
Let me not say the behind the scenes, but the back end of things.
Yes. There are people who have to do the research.
Yeah.
And the testing and
right.
so on.
And then while you're out in the field, someone could be there selling for you.
And exactly.
Right,
and there
right.
are people who will clean and pack
right.
and so you offer jobs in driving and different jobs, you know,
right.
in agriculture. So you could actually put on a white coat and actually being employed in the agricultural sector, right? So that's where we want to see the sector heading. That it could be a contributor to the GDP. Not now you hear about agriculture, you hear about a mere 1.5%. And so, no, we want to make agriculture none less than, let's say, a 10, 15, 20% contributor to GDP.
Right. Okay.
You know? That's where we want to carry it. You hear about Amiga, land of photo, and we don't really have nothing to show for it.
Right, that's crazy. But let's not stray too much, though. Like, I want to hear more about, you know, what's coming next.
From the consortium?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we haven't had a general meeting for a while, but a general meeting is scheduled for next week, Thursday, for those who are listening. Next week, Thursday, the same place, Parsons Community Center. We'll be having a general meeting. So all who are interested, you could come along and
Tell the location one more time.
It's Parsons Community Center.
Parsons Community Center.
Yes.
What time?
Normally 7
o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That's the time it
and
normally starts.
And those farmers that, you know, want to join the consortium.
Well, members of the consortium, you're asked to be present at the meeting, and persons who are interested in joining, you too can come along. And there are people who just are interested in agriculture. You could also come at the meeting and sit in and.
Well, King, may really like a farmer, like when you have a green thumb, I find when things grow for me is when I left them alone. Just leave them. When I pay attention to them, I feel it is dead.
Hey,
right?
you know, it's all right there in the name, right? His name is Jay Black. He has a black thumb. Stuff just dies.
I can't believe you just said on the ear.
Just going in, he shows up in the garden, the stuff just dies.
That's you, right? Don't ignore
that.
I kid.
So there where you fit in now at maybe the research and the marketing end. You see, you ain't everybody will put a seed in the ground.
Well, fun fact, I used to work at the agriculture department for TDC.
Yeah.
So I knew how to advise on
the chemicals
and the nutrients and the insecticides, the pesticides, the whole lot.
You see, while some people are fire people, you're hired.
Yeah.
Right there, you don't find your role.
Well, why? Let me tell you something. You learn over time, you hear people talk, and you're like, why? Like, if it's one thing you don't to sell.
Okay. Well, while we're on that selling thing, I would like to say kudos to the Ministry of Agriculture.
Whoop, whoop.
Because
some my best up yourself.
Sometime last week, a 40-foot container arrived on the island with some pineapple slips. Right? And from what I gather, it was about 70,000 pineapple heads. Right?
So what's going on with that?
So the farmers who receive those pineapples, I will let them to make good use of them.
Right.
Because it's an opportunity to be a part of something.
The pineapples of the same...
Yes, it's the same thing.
Same thing.
Let me ask a question. When those get shipped, is it like a climate control container, or is there a certain amount of time they can travel before they die?
The container that I went in, it was very cool. So,
okay.
But
and it has lights in it?
I didn't know. I didn't see no lights up. But anyway,
what kind of lights?
No, I'm talking about photosynthesis and all that.
Right.
But to keep them alive.
Greenhouse lights. Okay.
No, the slips arrive here in good condition.
Okay.
And I think most farmers should already start planting them.
Oh, okay. So they already started distributing some of the
They
slips.
are already being distributed.
And these slips are only available for farmers, or can anybody access?
Mostly it was farmers who I know went for them. I didn't know. I know behind the scenes.
But they done?
I said yes, but I was told that another container will be arriving in next week or two.
Okay.
With more pineapples.
With more pineapples
for the farmers, primarily for the
So you see what the ministry is doing, which I will have to tip my hat to them and say kudos, is to revive the pineapple industry.
Right.
Because we once had a thriving pineapple industry.
When did it die?
Over time.
That was like in the 80s, right?
Yeah, coming.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Yes,
okay.
So you find that pineapple is something that the consumption in St. Kitts is on the up.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Really?
Yeah, it is on the up. People hear about all these health benefits of pineapples and so.
Well, they said pineapple for the girl, them, yeah?
Well, me about the girls in part, but I know they say
the girls.
I can vouch for that.
You can vouch for what?
That the female,
you're one of the girls, them?
Female
I can vouch.
love pineapple.
I can vouch for the, I mean, we can talk. We're adults. Come on.
That female love pineapple.
No, he ain't talking about that.
Going beyond that. No, there's this. You could say medical advisory that says women who eat a lot of pineapple. Apparently, men too.
He just diplomatically wording this.
Men too. Said that it makes the juices taste better.
Okay.
And not just the women, the men as well. It makes it taste.
On a whole,
yeah.
But I hear about other health benefits.
Are the ladies behind me blushing?
No, they're not. They ain't even paying attention. She's just watching with a blank face.
I heard about other health benefits of pineapple, and I know it could be a lucrative crop.
Right. Okay. How long does it take for pineapple to bear fruit?
I think these slips will take about 18 months.
18? I thought I thought
it was 9.
Yeah, that's what
I thought it was like a baby.
No.
I think Humble mentioned, he said 9 months last year.
No,
that's the number I had in mind.
It depends on where you start from.
Jeez.
It depends on where you start from.
And he mentioned something last week, which I never thought about. He said that you can actually start a pineapple from the bottom section. You know how normally you'd plant it with the crown thing. He said you can start it from the bottom, and he said it goes faster when you use.
Okay.
You see, so different section you use to propagate. It take a different time to produce.
Right.
So that's why I say 18 months. That's stop. Right. That's stop.
So it's sort of like 18 months at the most.
That's stop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I hope it stays going.
So
after the 18 months.
My advice to the farmers: don't just go and take the pineapples because they are free. You take the pineapples and put them in the ground, cure them, because you will see return.
Now there's the elephant in the room, or should I say the monkey in the room. It's nice to know that the orcharding is starting and so, but what pineapple something monkeys mess with? And
monkeys.
And so how are you guys gonna deal with?
How do they eat the pineapples? And like what do they do?
Monkey eat the head.
The head. But ain't them things spiky?
Monkey you're talking about, you hear monkeys in a sandbox tree.
What do you mean eat the head? They eat the spiky parts?
Yeah, they pull out that thing and so.
What is a monkey? What is a monkey that do with the sandbox tree?
You hear monkey never used to be in sandbox tree, but that's not true. Monkey they be in sandbox tree.
Well, sandbox tree different.
You know the saying was monkey know what tree to
Right.
Because they used to say monkey don't jump on sandbox tree because they got casher.
But it's so funny because
it's not true.
But you ever see the fruit for the sandbox tree?
Yeah.
No.
It's a live grenade. If you drop it, gon' bust it, gon' spread the spikes all over.
That is when it is.
We have sandbox trees.
What?
Yeah. That is when it's properly.
No. Does he have another name? Does he have another name?
No, sandbox tree is the proper name, right?
That's why I know it has.
Yeah.
But that's when it is properly dry.
Yeah. Yeah, man, Jamsta, man, you need to go more hiking more often, Jamsta. When you lean back on a sandbox tree, you're gonna know.
But it all depends, because you see the casher. If they take, you could and you won't get thing.
Really?
Yeah. It's just like if you put some nails and you lie down on the nails, because if all them even, you wouldn't really get big easily.
Right.
Depends on the space.
No man, everybody have to learn from us. Learn what Sandbag Street is the hard way.
But I will say this, right? The consortium is doing its part. Most persons out there will say, well, the consortium come and they agitate to get things done.
Mm-hmm.
We are still doing that, but we pull back a little from the agitating,
mm-hmm.
and we're working. All the time we've been asking to partner with the ministry,
right,
and asking, and we're seeing little return.
Mm-hmm.
We're still working, as I said, maybe behind the scenes to try and mend the relationship between the ministry and the consortium. We are still willing to give it all the time that it requires to get the relationship properly ironed out. But
I understand.
I will say we are still doing what we are supposed to be doing.
But there's some progress, at least.
In terms of?
Well, amending things, getting things done.
Well, the fact that the consortium is not very, very aggressive towards the ministry at this moment is because we are negotiating to get things done. Because, we ask for things and we see a little return, but we're doing what we have to do on behalf of the farmers. You understand? It's not about the leadership of the consortium. We are just a small part of the movement. We have a larger body, so we have to make things work for the majority of people, not just for the leadership of the consortium. So we are doing what we have to do. We have our planting program, our second planting program. We're gearing up to start shortly, and hopefully it should be much more successful than the last one. So still at the general meeting we'll be discussing our planting program and other things that we doing.
Okay.
So
all right.
It's a live thing going on, man. The consortium is here. It's live.
No problem.
So the ministry we're hoping that we could see the kind of cooperation that we ask for from the ministry. We are doing our part, and I hope that they'll do their part so that we could have a smooth relationship.
Right.
Because it only benefits the nation, the farming community. A good working relationship between the ministry and the consortium, it works well for everybody. The politicians, they will get the time to boast about progress.
Okay.
Once we work together, they will get that time, they get that opportunity to boast. So how they got to do is just...
Well, I think it's more than just boasting at this point,
But that's what politicians do best,
I mean, let me tell you something, right? At the end of the day, you gotta be able to have some sort of achievement under your belt, right? And these achievements, of course, if I, as a politician, was able to help 30,000 people, 30 to 40,000 people on the island, I would consider that an accomplishment. I would boast about it because, why you do something good, why you got a trophy, why come on, you gotta talk about it, right? But a big part of it, which is why we have to be mindful of, things like independence, is where we come from and where we're going, and how we're going to evolve as a people. And sometimes it's not necessarily, waiting on the government, as Cameron Gill explained a while ago.
Word.
These trade unions were organized because the ones that were in power, they were not doing enough, so they had to fight and fight and fight and fight, and until they get to the point that they wanted to, until they were recognized, until amendments were made in the law for these things to happen. So, I mean, a big part of us, and I challenge people to do this, is, as much as the government has a very large say in how things go, we're still a democracy, and we have to operate like a democracy, like our voices matter. So if it is that the consortium is a union, then,
No, we're not a union, we're a movement.
Well, wherever it is, push and pull.
But he made some very good points.
And then I will challenge him on that point, because the consortium set out to bring about structural change.
Okay.
In the ministry and so.
Right.
Right. Some of the things that we speak about is a voice.
Okay.
To sit at the table as farmers to help to bring about policies and programs that will benefit rather than you come with something and throw it on us.
Okay.
We want to be a part of bringing these programs and policies. Whatever we formulate at the table, we want to have a say in it. That's what the consortium start with. We start to challenge the duty-free arrangement that they have. We're trying to get the duty-free arrangement to be like leveled with the Ministry of Tourism. The arrangement with the duty-free is much better for them and for people who are part of the tourism industry. That rather than we getting the same benefits, we're getting less as farmers. So we are trying to say, chaos on par with them or even above them. These are things that the consortium set out to do, to bring about these changes, right? And like, for instance, we speak about maybe when you bring in seeds, instead of go through all these red tapes and so, you try to make it as simple as possible that you could bring in your seeds. Because, I mean, let's say you have a pack of seed, right? This is a pack of seed that the ministry bring in. Well, if you want to bring in the same kind of seed, the same thing, you have a lot of red tape to go through, which means you already test these seeds and they don't prove that they could come into the island.
Right.
Why should you know? You want to bring the same seed, have to go through all this kind of ring around. So these are things that we
there's a lot of moving parts to be considered, but I'm sure there's some kind of middle ground that could be.
As you say, you come from a background with chemicals and so. There are certain known chemicals that TDC bring in. If I want to bring in those chemicals, I have to go to the chemical board and go to our kind of.
Well, you see, of course, it's a simple situation where you can't import certain things as just a normal man. You need to have like a license. So at least there's a control on who is bringing in or who they know bringing in these dangerous chemicals, because these could be hazardous chemicals. We've seen what these chemicals can do.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, we've heard stories of people just going and drinking Gramaxone and them kind of things.
Yeah. That's on them.
No. But at the end of the
Gramaxone from TDC and drink it.
Yeah, but okay, we ain't gonna talk too much.
No. But if you're talking about license and it requires.
What I'm saying is there are regulations for these things to happen.
Yes.
You know, it's like, for example, guns can be seen as peaceful instruments, but they're no instruments of war. And this is why they have licenses and customs and standards in place, procedures to mitigate or have a control on who has these guns and how they're being used. Everything registering the bullet and what's not, right?
Yeah.
So
let's think about the chemicals. If you're bringing in weedless,
okay, yeah,
and a farmer wants to bring in weedless for himself. Let's say you have a farmer that have acres of land, and he cannot afford to wait and TDC or the department for their chemical. In order for he to bring in his chemical, there's a lot of red tape you got to go around. Let's simplify the thing. You know weedless, you're accustomed to weedless. You know the guy is a farmer, and so why do he have to go round and round to get these things?
Well, a shortage is different to someone saying blatant no. So there may be a reason for the shortage, because I know sometimes these chemicals may have gotten a red tape outside of what farmers can control and what the government can control. I know some chemicals that we used to bring in back in the day, they're now banned because of hazardous substances that were found. They found traces of it in the offspring for the fruit and what's not.
No, you're straying away from the point.
May want to stray away.
I'm talking about chemicals that are approved.
Right, I understand.
And it's okay for those chemicals to be on the island.
Right.
But if I, as a farmer, want to bring in these chemicals, I have a lot of red tape I have to go through to bring in these chemicals. So I'm simply saying, why not simplify these things? I'm talking about known chemicals that the ministry is bringing in. Simplify these things.
Okay.
So if I just go up the ministry and I just say, okay, I want to bring in something, okay, bam. Then you go wait to this reply and that reply and so. Like for instance, I just bring in a part for my tractor.
Yes.
luckily I get the duty free, which they normally they don't give duty free and tractor parts, so I got it, right? Which we fighting for duty free and tractor parts. Because it make no sense you got a tractor and you can't get the parts for the tractor.
It make no sense. The straight way if you brought them.
Right. So when I got that duty free and I feel so good, I going up the thing, the port with me letter say I got duty free.
Yeah.
When I reach up, they say, "But you go see a broker, you know, you go back with that, so that they could get some documents. You go
Right. Which is standard.
Well, what I'm saying is nonsense.
No.
Because listen to me carefully. Because food is duty free. And if you bring in a barrel of food, you ain't gonna look on a broker.
Well, there are different things in place for different things.
But if you put it, I guarantee you that these hotels that bring in certain things,
right,
because they are duty free for them. I guarantee they don't have to go through the same thing that I went through.
Well, it's a procedure. No, they may not have to. Some people may not have to go through it one by one. Maybe they already have. Let's just say an automation in place for these things to
Why is it they have? Why is it they have?
Like an automation.
What that mean? Break it down so everybody can
So there's a
understand.
system.
Yeah.
There's a system, right? But there has to be some sort of representative to go through the same procedures.
So that's what I'm saying. If you simplify things so that when I show up at the port, you say, okay, farmer, I see, tractor parts. Okay, Mr. Flanders. Let me see your farmer's ID. Okay, yes, okay. Bam.
Let me tell you something.
And I don't have
I'm
to
not demeritating what you're saying.
I don't have to
I understand there's some things that could be simplified, but
that's what
sometimes I feel like if we don't have these things in place, it's not going to. You know what? That's stupid.
There's never a dull moment on the farm report, and we come into the end of the farm report.
No, man, I like this. I want you to come back. I'm looking for next week, man. You gotta come back.
He's usually the one that comes.
I like this.
I am so happy that I could be in the studio again, and thanks WINNFM for the opportunity. Right?
I am interested. I am going to look into this.
I know I might get some links for something I might left up, but next time.
I'm sorry if that was the cause of that.
So to all our listeners again, thank you for sticking with us, and happy Independence to all.
Enjoy your holiday tomorrow.
Yeah.
You didn't bring us any watermelon or
why? That's a thing. That's case now.
I'm just playing.
The other week we had too much watermelon and people know a call from all over watermelon.
You should have called me.
I want you to bring avocado.
I would have taken the road trip to come get them.
Yeah, the watermelon.
Yeah.
It's amazing to see what 2 shower rain can do to a watermelon crop.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Try next week. Okay. We have it's 9:45. We have coming up next. We have Cornella Daniel. She's going to be rapping about the international celebration of the girl child. She's a spokeswoman of and host of Share the Dignity Convention. That's the 3rd annual convention that's coming up. You're going to hear all about it right after these words.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is WIN FM.
Pour me out some stones, ginger wine for me. You'll never feel alone. Original taste. Stone ginger wine will never fade away. The wine for me and the next generation.
A legacy lasts forever. The original ginger wine, established in 1740. Stone's ginger wine.
Pour me out some stones, ginger wine for me. The wine for me and the next generation.
Live your legacy responsibly with Stones.
Oh, I've got this feeling to high-five the sun, dance in the rain, and have my scoop of fun. I'm on my way to flavor my day with something new, and I've got room for you. Let loose and live a little, get close and share a little, give in and taste a little. You'll fall in love with creamery novelties of life and live a little. I get close and share a little, give in and taste a little. You'll fall in love with creamery novelties. tea.
Enjoy Creamy Novelties Ice Cream, distributed by Rams Trading. Live a little.
Okay, so let's get into it. It's 9:47.
Okay.
We are having our third.
I can take it.
Okay, guys. Okay, so we're here.
Jamsta?
Yeah, go ahead.
I really like that beat.
Yeah,
I really like that
it's
beat.
nice.
Yeah.
Track is called "Bring It."
Bet.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
Sean
look it up
Paul.
just now.
Yeah. Okay, so we got Cornell Daniel, and take it away, Cornell.
Good morning, Jonathan, and to all of the listeners tuning in.
Good morning.
My name is Cornell Daniel. I am here as a representative for Zaka's Affinity Causes. I am also the host for this year's third annual Share the Dignity Convention and the host for this year's International Celebration of the Girl Child 2024, dubbed ICOG.
Nice. Okay. When is this going to be held?
So the International Celebration of the Girl Child is annually the 11th of October.
The 11th of October.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
So the girl child is considered the female from adolescent growing up.
Okay. Nice. Okay. For those of you who didn't know.
All right, so just to touch on a few information, Zerka's Affinity Causes, it's a non-profit community-based organization. And we have a project that is called Share the Dignity SKN. It was founded in 2019 and introduced into the schools in 2020. Briefly, it is a program that is centered around annual intervention forums, emotional resuscitation, basic education, and leadership development training, while being committed to promoting proper adolescent, hygienic, and menstrual health.
Okay. Gotcha.
During the month of October, we aim to raise awareness to the right to a safe, educated, and healthy life of adolescent girls, while also inspiring, empowering, and celebrating our nation's young females. So this year's International Celebration of the Girl Child 2024, it kicks off with our third annual Share the Dignity Convention.
Okay. So 3 years in. Okay.
3 years in.
Nice.
So this is slated for Saturday, October 5th, 2024 at the Sir Cecil Jacobs Auditorium from 3 p.m. to 6:30 p.m.
Okay.
So basically, it's an afternoon of intervention and entertainment, which is part of the Project Dignity SKN initiative that is to assist with early intervention framework geared towards nurturing our nation's young girls, personal passions, their goals, their aspirations, and to curb the cradle to juvenile delinquency pipeline. We will be engaging in 4 presentations by your very own Kortensia Carty, Mrs. Jehan Williams Knight, Clelia Davis, and Jamie McPhail. We will also have entertainment by the Okola Tegramantine Arts Theatre, Angelique Dance Company, I Delinapi, Sugar City Steel Orchestra, the Tucker Clark Primary School, CFBC, and much, much more.
Okay. Jam-packed, man.
Jam-packed.
Yeah.
So to kick off, we have Girl Talk, which is slated for the 7th to the 11th of October, where we will be conducting short, inspirational presentation on a variety of topics by females to the adolescent female student population or the entire school at several primary schools. Since 2022, we have joined in on the celebration of the International Girl Child, which was declared internationally by the United Nations General Assembly on December 19th, 2011. So just a bit of information there as to why it is celebrated internationally and why we choose to celebrate it here locally as well. So as such, we will be having our first ever ICOG Career Expo, which is on the 11th of October. And again, just to reiterate, that is the actual day for the international celebration of the girl child.
Right. Okay.
All right. So we firmly believe that each of us play a role in nurturing the potential of our future leaders. Hence, we'll be hosting our first Youth Career Expo. And we welcome attendees from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Sugar Apple.
Okay.
So that is located on Wegley Avenue, Fort Lands, to an interactive expo where attendees can engage with business professionals and industry experts. It will be an environment where they can explore various career paths, gain insight into the professional world, make informed career decisions, and it empowers them to take proactive steps towards achieving their goals. So this expo is an opportunity for us to provide a platform where the youth can explore possibilities for their future. And as such, we invite all educators, schools, most importantly,
yes,
and businesses to join in celebrating the youth and supporting the future leaders of our federation.
That is very nice.
That is very nice. Right, coming up next, we have a Touch of Class.
Touch of Class.
And this is scheduled for the 12th of October at Ramada from 9:30 to 1 p.m. And this is an etiquette workshop.
Ooh.
Etiquette workshop to aid in eliminating discourteous behavior, promote self-respect, consideration, and humility among young females.
Okay.
And in this workshop, we will be focusing on 3 main topics: good manners, appropriate grooming and fashion, and dining room etiquette. And just to put it out there, this is a free event.
A free
event.
Who's the facilitator?
The facilitator.
Is it Sharon?
Is it going to be Sharon?
Three different individuals.
Oh, we have 3 different individuals.
Three
different individuals will be making presentations.
Okay. I would, as a man, I would come to that.
Unfortunately for you, this is a free event open to females ages 11 to 18. So
18.
You're almost off of the calendar.
Yeah, we're almost off the calendar.
You're almost off of the calendar. I'm sorry about that, but only for females.
These etiquette classes are really nice, though. I've been to a few. I remember
when I entered the National Carnival Queen pageant, this was one of the mandatory courses that I had to attend.
Yes.
So it really was informative, and I'm excited to see that this is being introduced, and I really would like for it to continue.
I feel like it's definitely needed. I didn't even know how to eat soup. Right.
So apparently you have to scoop from the edge to the center. Exactly. Yeah. And I learned that recently as well.
Right.
All right. Our next event is Artful Antics.
Okay.
And this is a fundraising event where we're going to have painting, cocktails, if you're not into painting, cocktails, and if you develop the bravery, we're going to have karaoke as well. And I promise you, nobody is going to laugh. It's just going to be an environment that is pretty much easygoing. And this is slated for Saturday, 12th October at 6 p.m. at Michael's Burger.
Okay.
So tickets are available at $100 EC. You can contact Vinetta Zakers at 663-2891, or you can email us at Z as in zebra, A as in apple, causes @gmail.com. So that is ZA causes@gmail.com.
Jamsta, you can put that here? You can put it in the comments?
Please and thank you.
You can give me the information after. And
Absolutely.
I'll put it up there.
Thank you very much. All right, coming up next, we have Let's Talk Feminine Health.
That's feminine health. Okay.
And this is slated for the 14th to the 18th of October. So this week of feminine health discussion actually kickstarts our yearly menstrual health and personal hygiene talks. We usually do this at selected primary schools with the grade 6 female students.
Yeah.
And this presentation will be carried out by our very own nurse Laverne Millington, who is the health coordinator for Project Dignity SKN. Okay. Moving right along, we have Wine Down Wednesday. This is a fundraiser. Wine Down Wednesday.
Yes,
And we are encouraging everyone to come on out and discover new flavors, mingle with friends, and create unforgettable memories while supporting the continued efforts of Project Dignity SKN.
So it's like a mixer.
Sorry?
It's like a mixer.
It's actually a wine tasting event at Coxon Schools.
Okay,
yes, it's a wine tasting event.
Okay.
This is going to be held on the 16th of October from 6:30 p.m.
Gotcha.
to 8:30 at Coxon Schools, and tickets are just $65 EC.
What is the age limit?
You don't have any age
No,
limit.
yeah.
I don't have any age limit, so we're just encouraging you to come on out.
Okay, cool.
Everybody who is into wine, and if you're a wine connoisseur,
And if you're underage, we got Capri Sun for you, right?
if you're underage, we have Capri Sun, Ting, and some Sprite. All right.
Gotcha.
Next up, we have Aurora, which is a symbol of hope and renewal. And this is slated for Saturday, 19th October at the beautiful Romney Manor, home of Carabel Batik. This is going to be from 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. This is a free wellness retreat for female adolescents from the ages of 11 to 18.
Okay.
And participants will engage in sound bath, yoga, scented candle making, mindfulness discussion, and soca size. I am very much excited for the soca size part. Next up, and lastly, we have the Emotional Intelligence Workshop. This is the last event scheduled for the 26th of October under the kind patronage of the St. Kitts Marriott Resort from 9:30 to 3 p.m. This workshop offers guidance to our participants on how they can better connect with their feelings, navigate challenging situations, turn intention into action, and make informed decisions of emotional intelligence. So this is going to include self-awareness, self-management, and relationship management. This workshop, again, is free of cost and is open to females from the ages of 11 to 18.
Wow.
So together with our partners, such as the St. Kitts Marriott Resort, Romney Manor, the home of Carabel Batik, the St. Kitts Mental Health Association, Imagine Yoga Studio, Sugar Apple, just to name a few. We are committed to providing our young females with the inspiration they need to thrive in this ever-changing world. So that's basically what we have lined up for the month of October. I am excited for all of these events, and we are encouraging everybody to come on out, visit our Facebook page for more information, register, purchase tickets for the events that we have. It is going to be an educational and informative session.
That's quite a week full of events. That's 7 days, right?
A month.
A month. My
month
bad.
of events.
Right. And how many events total?
Let me count.
Okay, she counting. I would like to meet this Miss Zaka's person. She sounds like, okay, I know, Lord of mercy.
We have
one,
2.
It is? Okay.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
9 events.
9 events.
Right. Spread across.
Yeah. Some of them lasting a whole week.
Yeah. I could imagine. And here's one more question before you leave. What was the epiphany that Ms. Zakers came to when this whole thing came about?
Honestly, if I dare to speak on behalf of Ms. Zakers, she would have noticed that there were some things that would have been missing in schools when she would have visited the schools. And sometimes, we tend to wait for persons to take the initiative. But what I appreciate about Ms. Zakers is that she saw it and she felt the need to do something about it right then and there.
Okay.
And so, again, she would have started the Project Dignity SKN in 2019, and by the following year, it was already introduced into several schools.
Oh, wow.
So, see something, do something. So, I appreciate that about Ms. Zakers. Thank you very much.
Ms. Zakers, big up yourself.
For noticing and for taking action.
Okay. Man, Ms. Zakers, you should have been in the studio, man. Come in the studio, everybody see who you be before we go off the air. Come quick in the room. Just come show your face on the camera so people on the left can see who you are. Jamsta, man, you got the lady over there and just, be listening. Come on, though. I appreciate us sending Connie. Connie did a very good job.
Thank you very much.
Connie, for those of you who didn't know.
And then Connie always does, right?
Come, have a seat.
Come quick, come quick, guys. We're over time. We're gonna get licks. Come.
Just look into the camera. We're getting licks here. We're getting licks. Yeah, just look into the camera and say hi. This is Miss Zakers, the progenitor of the movement, right? And she's having a jam-packed week. Well, not week, but a jam-packed month of activities in October surrounding the girl child awareness.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So. That is it. We're going to get more licks if I step more, but I'm going to say...
Yeah, we're definitely going to get
guys, it's been great. Thanks for tuning in this morning to Island Tea.
Thank you very much.
Yes, we had a jam-packed morning of lectures and insightful conversations about the agriculture and now the girl child.
We're gonna bring it again on Friday because remember tomorrow is a holiday. I almost said tomorrow, so tomorrow is Independence Day.
Happy Independence,
Happy
everyone.
Independence.
Yes.
Okay. All right, guys. Everyone have a great day, and I wish you the best of luck. But I'll be hearing from you, I'm sure.
Hopefully.
Yes.
Again,
yes, absolutely.
Like you're the one that's gonna be speaking next time, and Kanye is gonna be in that chair. Yes.
She did a really good job.
Thank you very much.
Definitely the one continuously being behind the mic.
Right.
Okay. All right.
Okay. That's a wrap.
Great. Everyone have a great day.
See y'all. Stay safe.